Hello everyone. Today we're diving deep into the world of luxury, Gucci.
Gucci doesn't belong on Mars. It belongs in a museum.
It's that brand that makes people think they want to live larger than life.
We all know the double G logo, the sleek bags, the A-list celebs rocking the brand. But how did it all begin? Buckle up because Gucci's origin story is wilder than a runway at Milan Fashion Week. Our story begins in 1881 with the birth of Guccio Gucci in Florence, Italy. Young Guccio, born to a leather goods maker, had fashion in his blood, but his path to creating a fashion empire was far from straightforward. At just 17, Guccio left Italy for London, where he worked as a bellhop at the prestigious Savoy Hotel. It was here, handling the luxurious luggage of wealthy guests, that he found his inspiration. Returning to Florence in 1921, Guccio opened his first shop. But he didn't start with the handbags and clothes we know today. Instead, he focused on leather goods for horsemen. Remember, this was still the age of horse-drawn carriages? Guccio's products quickly gained a reputation for quality. He expanded into luggage and soon the wealthy were flocking to his store. But Gucci faced a major challenge in the 1930s. Mussolini's fascist regime and international sanctions against Italy made importing leather nearly impossible. But Guccio didn't give up. Instead, he got creative. He began experimenting with alternative materials like hemp, linen, and jute. His most famous innovation? The bamboo handle bag, born out of wartime necessity, which remains a Gucci icon to this day. As the business grew, Guccio brought his three sons, Aldo, Vasco, and Rodolfo, into the company. Under their leadership, Gucci expanded globally, opening stores in Milan, New York, and beyond. The 1950s and 60s saw Gucci become a favorite of Hollywood stars and European royalty. Gucci's popularity exploded during this era. By the late 1960s, the company was selling over 25,000 bags a year in the US alone. This surge in popularity translated to financial success. In 1979, Gucci's revenues reached a remarkable $900 millions globally. But behind the glamorous facade, trouble was brewing. While Gucci was conquering the fashion world, behind the scenes a family drama was unfolding that would rival any Hollywood script. After their brother Vasco Gucci died in 1974, Rodolfo and Aldo divided the business between themselves for 50% stake each in the company. Aldo Gucci had three sons, Giorgio, Paolo, and Roberto, whereas Rodolfo had only one son, Maurizio. The trouble began in 1980s when Rodolfo Gucci died, leaving his 50% stake in the company to his son Maurizio. This shift in power didn't sit well with the rest of the family. Aldo Gucci, Maurizio's uncle and the man credited with expanding Gucci internationally, found himself in a power struggle with his nephew, but Aldo had problems of his own. In 1986, Aldo was sentenced to a year in prison for tax evasion in the US, a charge brought to light by none other than his own son Paolo. Paolo, who had ambitions to launch his own Gucci line, had been blocked by his father and uncles. In retaliation, he reported his father's tax crimes and tried to launch competing brands, leading to lawsuits from the family. Meanwhile, Maurizio was making moves. In 1988, he convinced his cousins to sell nearly 47.8% of their shares to Investcorp, a Bahrain-based investment fund. This allowed him to push out his relatives and take control of the company. Maurizio became the person to call all the shots in Gucci, but his dream was short-lived. His extravagant spending and poor business decisions put Gucci on the brink of bankruptcy. In 1993, he was forced to sell his remaining shares to Investcorp, ending the family's involvement in the company. Then on March 27, 1995, Maurizio was shot dead on the steps of his Milan office. The fashion world was shocked, but the real bombshell was yet to come. 2 years later, Maurizio's ex-wife Patricia Reggiani was arrested for orchestrating his murder. The trial revealed a sordid tale of jealousy, greed, and revenge. Patricia, who had once said,
"It's better to cry in Rolls Royce than to be happy on a bicycle."
sentenced to 29 years in prison. With the family in disarray, outsiders took control. Under the creative director Tom Ford, Gucci was reinvented for a new era, becoming the luxury, provocative brand we know today. Today, Gucci continues to be a powerhouse in the fashion world. As of 2023, it boasts over 500 stores worldwide and generates annual revenues exceeding 10 billion euros. The brand accounts for nearly 60% of parent company Kang's total revenue, demonstrating its enduring appeal and market dominance. Though no longer under family control, Gucci's story serves as a reminder that behind every great brand lies a tale of ambition, innovation, and sometimes human drama. From humble beginnings in Florence to global fashion dominance, the Gucci saga proves that in fashion, as in life, the only constant is change. The Gucci origin story reminds us that sometimes the drama behind a brand can be just as captivating as the products themselves. Thank you for watching Gyan Saga. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and hit that notification button for more fascinating stories.